Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So we got some stuff to talk about. We got a trade here and then something that happened because of the trade. You'll know about it right now. So the Brooklyn Nets have traded DeAndre Jordan, 4 second-round picks, 4 of them, 4 second-round picks, and $5.8 million in cash considerations to the Detroit Pistons for Sekou Doumbouya and Jahlil Okafor. And the Brooklyn Nets will have saved $47 million in salary cap doing this deal. This is a home run of catastrophic proportions for a team that is already fantastically positioned to win a championship. If they saved $47 million, that indeed means they can spend that on someone else right now. Now, I don't know what type of trade they would go out for. What they would be willing to do to bring in the type of salary required to fill that. I don't know if that would be money they can hold over and not necessarily spend all of it this year. I don't really know how that works. But it is very curious to me that if they have $47 million, what it is that they plan on doing with it. So this is huge. They upgrade in every way here. There's no question about that. Sekou Doumbouya is a player who was a draft pick. I think he might have been a lottery pick about 3 years ago. Fell to the back of the Detroit Pistons bench. And I have no idea what exactly went wrong there, because when I saw him play very briefly, it seemed like he had some really good upside as a power forward. For me to tell you what he can do and what he can't do, I'd be lying. I'm not certain. But what I can say is I know he was a very, very high prospect the year he was drafted, and hasn't left Detroit since. So this will give him an obvious opportunity to play some meaningful basketball, if not just in practice, against some of the best basketball players in the entire world. So this is nothing but a great situation for them and him because of obvious reasons. On top of that, he provides them some youth in their front court, which is what they desperately needed. I would like to think he's a defensive player, because that's definitely what they need as well. But the Nets get younger, the Nets get richer. And as far as Jahlil Okafor, another young center to bring in, we know who Jahlil is. Some would say he's a bust. I think he's more so a player who just needs to be found in a situation that works for him. I don't have too much bad to say about Jahlil Okafor. He's a role player at this stage in his career. He's an inside presence. He can provide a great deal of energy in the paint, scoring. He's always had superior footwork, so there are going to be opportunities for him to score on the inside quite a bit. He doesn't need to do a whole lot on this roster, and I think he'll be in a happy spot in New York. So this is a win for the Brooklyn Nets. They look absolutely amazing in regards to the moves that they are making right now, and this is no exception. Now, let's see, what are the Detroit Pistons doing? Well, to be honest with you, they are going to waive DeAndre Jordan. That's what they're doing. They are waiving DeAndre Jordan, and they are bringing back assets. 4 second-round picks and $5 million worth of assets. So they have a $20 million stretch exception or something like that. They're going to work that out with DeAndre Jordan and get him off their books. They're gonna handle the dirty work rather than put it on the Nets to do it. They'll do it themselves, and the reward for doing so is getting rid of a couple players that they didn't want to use to kind of free up their rotation a bit, since they have a lot of newly acquired bigs and newly acquired players. They have an entirely different direction they want to take their team, and that timeline is going to be very, very, very kind to them, bringing in 4 second-round pick assets that they can use to maybe get a bigger piece. Anytime you're bringing in that many second-round picks or first-round picks of any picks of any kind, that many, it's valuable. So that's just assets. $5.8 million. They stash that in their pocket. Maybe use that on a player exception, something like that. Whatever they want to do, you know. $5 million in the bank. So that's what they did. You know, basically, this is one of those situations, just like I said, where a team can't really afford to stretch a player. They want to get off their books, and you know, you have a major salary dump, so it's going to cost you. This is why I think the Ben Simmons contract is going to be such a strange trade for fans to digest when it's finally complete, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to see something like this, to where you're going to see Ben go one direction and likely see a lot of picks headed in the other direction on top of Ben Simmons to get rid of him. You understand what I'm saying? The Philadelphia 76ers will have to attach picks in order to see to it that Ben Simmons is bought out of their contract, gotten away from them, so that someone else can handle whatever the dirty work would be with the contract. Now, in Ben Simmons' case, it's to play him and see that contract through. In DeAndre Jordan's case, it was to take the contract and then stretch it and go through the process of paying him over time. The Nets ain't want to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? Give it to another team to do it, and this is what it costs. So that's the kind of deals that can be done in the NBA, just, you know, in terms of creating cap space and things of that nature. You know who needs help with that kind of thing? The Portland Trailblazers. As we discussed yesterday, they have some issues. They could use a team like Detroit to help them with that issue. Take some of their bad contracts, help them with that crab contract. You know, the Lakers, it would have been nice if we could have loaded that dang contract on somebody. But we don't want to, you know, we don't have picks to give up like that. You see what I'm saying? So Brooklyn, fortunately enough themselves, had those second-round picks to kind of buy their way out of that situation. Now they move forward. They don't have to worry about DeAndre Jordan. He's going to now be going to the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, DeAndre Jordan is going to be signing with my team. You know, we welcome him. I don't know what he has, but he does fill a need in terms of being a center for us, a big body down there. He's only 33 years of age, even though it's been reported he plays a lot older than that. My concern with him was, if the Brooklyn Nets didn't want him, why should we? And now I have the answer to that. He was on a very, very absorbent contract. At that price, hell no, the Nets didn't want him. I did not know that he was on that contract, so that makes a lot of sense. It makes sense why they're giving him up now. It just saves them a lot of money, you know. And paying him that initially, that went completely past my radar. I would have definitely sounded off on that contract. That is a terrible contract, but it's not the contract we're taking on. We are going to be taking on a $2 million contract with DeAndre Jordan, and that is a good price for a player that I don't know that he really is going to have a whole lot left, to be completely honest with you. And the reason why I have little to no hope in regards to this player is because the Brooklyn Nets weren't able to really see the most out of him. They weren't able to get the most out of him. Now, knowing what his contract is and that it was that really controlling the situation does ease my mind a bit, because it does bring some clarity as to why they want to get rid of him. But nevertheless, everything I've heard and seen showed me that the player doesn't really have a whole lot left. Now, in normal situations, I'd say maybe like Carmelo Anthony's situation, or Trevor Ariza's situation, or what have you. I would imagine the players are coming here with a sense of urgency to get in shape and to be involved. I'd imagine that Rondo's going to get in shape and try to be a part of this thing, because we're going to go after a championship. But he was already in a situation like that in Brooklyn, and if that didn't wake him up, if that didn't get him going, that's what will, you know. And I'm wondering that right now. Will a return to Los Angeles be what he needs to be better, or is he just done? You know, the one thing I know about DeAndre Jordan is he played a hell of a lot of basketball early in his career. One of the most durable players in the NBA, and for a good 8-9 years straight, he didn't get injured at all. And he does a lot of jumping, a lot of dunking, a lot of rebounding, stuff like that above the rim. I just wonder if his body's just tired, you know what I mean? And, you know, he's one of those guys like Dwight Howard who had a lot of mileage early on. But I don't know that DeAndre Jordan took care of himself like Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? Dwight Howard's a workout warrior, always has been. So it's one of those things where Dwight comes back from injury and he's right back in the gym with those habits. DeAndre, you know, if he doesn't have those type of habits, he might just be wearing down. And the Lakers will know. We'll know soon enough. You know, he's going to be playing for us, because at the end of the day, we did need a backup center, and he's going to fill that position. So all things considered, I'm pretty sure Laker fans are thrilled. From a locker room perspective, I think we're going to be happy to have him in there for sure. That's not even a question. He's going to bring a great deal of positive energy to this locker room without any question. Him and Dwight Howard should be fun out there. And hopefully they push each other. You know, I think the one thing I can say about DeAndre Jordan is if he comes in out of shape, he's going to have a bunch of guys who are older than him, in shape, looking at him, holding him accountable. So it ain't going to be a whole lot of room for him to come around slugging and being a sluggard, you know, because we're getting rid of Marc Gasol for that very reason. So if you're done on a $2 million contract, believe you me, it won't be nothing to cut you before the before the end of the trade deadline. It ain't gonna be nothing to get rid of him. But that's the thing, he's low risk and could be very high reward if he has a resurgence. So again, he's only 33, one of the youngest players on his team, but he's gonna have to show that, because with his weaknesses, so to speak, the things that he doesn't do, free throw shooting and 3-point shooting, if he's not himself, it's going to be a glaring problem for us. And you know, the good thing is, more than anything, is we have Dwight Howard insurance. If Dwight goes down, or if we need to give Dwight a breather for whatever reason, we've provided ourselves more front court depth, which was A1 important. So you know, I am happy we're bringing the player in. I'm not a fan of where he's at in his career. Had this been several years back, this would have been thrilling. Hopefully he can have a resurgence and change my attitude. You know, that's where I'm at with it. But for what it is that we're trying to do and for what it's costing us to bring him in, this is a home run once again. It's just another great position the Lakers have put themselves in to have depth and experience. You know, we're old, man. We're really old. We're a really old team, but that provides a lot of experience. The older players that we have, for the most part, do have those good workout habits I was talking about. Great players. So my concern is zero, absolutely zero. Can't wait for the season to start, and I can't wait to figure out what else we're going to do with the rest of our roster. But almost equally as excited to find out what the heck the Nets are going to do with that $40+ million that they got sitting around, because they could get in the mix for somebody we don't see coming. You know, at this point, I'm looking at Joe Harris, and I'm saying there was some rumors about them not quite being as pleased with Joe Harris as they had been, in the more further back in the past. He didn't have the greatest playoffs. He's on a pretty interesting contract. He has a whole lot of value in this league, being that he's one of the best shooters out there. Now that they have this $46 million, I would wonder if they're looking to maybe possibly package somebody else, and bring themselves yet another player that can be of cachet to really help them. It's not that I think they should get rid of Joe Harris. I'm just looking at that $46 million, and I'm looking at him, and I'm saying, boy, you know, they could take on some type of contract that maybe somebody else wouldn't necessarily want, and maybe not have to give up Kyrie Irving to do it. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's Ben Simmons. So I don't know if that's them creating this $46 million. Makes me wonder if they're going to try to maneuver something that we don't see coming. And knowing that Ben Simmons is out there, they would be wise to try to go get him. But I also know that more than likely it would cost them Kyrie. Now, that may not be the case. Now they may be able to maneuver that 46 to help soften that blow and keep them from having to let him go. So I'm looking at the other contracts on there, and Joe Harris is the one that pops up. So I think the Brooklyn Nets are gonna try to do something, man. I don't know what they're gonna try to do. I don't know what they can do, but $46 million is a lot of money. So yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes open there. Anyway, that's what I got, man. Welcome to LA, DJ. You know, I haven't been singing the praises like I should, but I know you'll win me over. I have no doubt about that. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be happy to be back in Los Angeles as well, because obviously he's a Clipper dude. That's an LA dude for sure. So it's going to be also nice to have a Clipper in this uniform, looking to destroy them 4 times a year. Once again, it's always nice. Anyway, yeah, that's what I got. My name is BDO44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.